And hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Welcome back to the F4L Headquarters podcast. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, everyone, welcome back to the F4L Headquarters podcast. I am your host, the F4L icon, Sean Jazz Stevens, and here today we have a very special occasion, as we're going to be previewing our upcoming return as I trip over my words, as I preview our upcoming return to the icons of the F4L to YouTube. We took a little bit of a hiatus so I could rebuild and remaster and everything else with the new software and whatnot. So I can honestly tell you guys, and first and foremost, right up front, that I was hoping to have a lot of the arenas ready by now. Unfortunately, due to, I don't know what, maybe a glitch in the system, maybe it being too new, I don't know. However, the fact of the matter is, the arenas we were hoping to use, unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'll be able to bring those just yet. So just stay tuned, but on the 4th, maybe things will happen differently, hopefully. If not, we do have a couple backup arenas that we're going to choose. So not to worry, the show must go on, and it will. So we have plenty of arenas that we can use for this event, and it'll be iconic and epic, and it'll be a great time. So what I'm going to do for you guys today is go over the card in its entirety, so you guys can kind of get ready for what's coming up and what to look forward to. Because this is technically our return to YouTube, and it's our return of our show. This is our sort of, quote, big show. This, I guess, would be considered our WrestleMania, which is this coming weekend, by the way, for those wrestling fans out there in the world. Don't think that I don't know what goes on in the world of wrestling. I still do. I'm still from it. Just because I don't agree with a lot of what's going on in pro wrestling these days doesn't mean I don't know what's going on in it. Anywho, WrestleMania is coming up, which is probably one of the longest running premium live events, which is what they call it now. Which I got to tell you, I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but it used to be when you were building an arena, you'd have to pick the fan, like what kind of fans you wanted in the audience, whether it be Raw, SmackDown, different eras, or what they called pay-per-view audience, which meant kind of was a, whatever you would see at WrestleMania or one of the bigger shows. Because there's no such thing as pay-per-view anymore because of Peacock or whatever these streaming services are, they now call it a premium live event. So it took me a little while to realize that the fan base is now called PLE, for those people who want to know. PLE is what those are called. What that audience thing is based for those people who are building and trying to figure out where the pay-per-view audience is. That's what they call them now, premium live event audience members. Anyway, that's not why you guys tuned in. You guys tuned in to hear the exciting card and who are you going to get to see. And some debuts and some payoffs, some feuds going on, and maybe who knows what else. So let's get into this. So we're not here all day. So here we go. First and foremost, this is the full card taking place on April 4th. This coming Tuesday, I believe it is. Epic Randompalooza 2023. We're going to kick things off with a grudge match of sorts. It's a tag team grudge match as the Battacles, due to the last time they took the liberty of attacking Jaden Brooks. And well, Jaden Brooks has won out and grabbed himself a tag team partner. So we're going to find out who Jaden got to team up with him, as he's going to get some retribution. So we're going to find out that answer to that on the 4th, who Jaden Brooks got to team up with him to take on the Battacles in a kickoff match. So that should be epic. And of course, it wouldn't be the match without seeing our Dream Masters BA MMA Grand Prix champion Noah the Nightmare Tyndall, as he will be defending against the king, one of the kings of Tekken. Well, King. Noah likes to take open challenges, and he has accepted the challenge for King from Tekken. So that should be an iconic match as we start getting ready for the next contenders and so forth. And King being one of the toughest people in Tekken, Noah's got to be ready for that. Now, I do realize that normally we're not going to be we're not going to be doing a lot of every once in a while we'll have a woman match thrown into the Dream Master side of things. But because this is our return show, I thought it made sense to have the women involved here. So the women's Dream Warriors Universal Tag Team Championship is going to be on the line as the Squared Circle Cafe defends against their old rivals, the Talk Scary to Me podcast, which is Danielle Harris and Scout Taylor Compton. So Harris and Compton have been women's tag team champions in the past, and they've given the champions a run for their money in the past. And it's been a little bit since things, and we'll have to find out what happens there. And rumor has it that both women will have a person in their corner without telling anybody who they are. So there we go. And then we're going to answer that old question. Who has a tougher job, the swimmers or the divers? As we're going to have Ivan the Dolphin Shark, everyone's favorite Russian swimmer who loves rock and roll, to taking on the Olympian Tom Daly, the diver. So swimmer Ivan the Dolphin Shark, who's a renowned swimmer, is taking on Olympic diver Tom Daly, gold medalist. So that should be an interesting matchup there. And this is a feud that's been brewing, so it's interesting to see a payoff between those two of the most hardest working individuals out there. Tom Daly is going to have a lot of experience as far as, age-wise. However, Ivan's been on our show quite a long time, so we'll have to see who wins on that one. In the next one, we have a debut of a tag team that we broke the news not long ago, and we are very excited to see what's going to happen here. And of course, Jack and Tim, the lucky ones, couldn't be happier to defend against these two, as with the Dream Masters Universal Tag Team Championship on the line, Jack and Tim, the lucky ones, will be defending against the newest tag team, the Pod Meets World podcast. Of course, that would be Riley. That would be, of course, be Ryder Strong and Will Friedle of Boy Meets World fame. Perhaps you guys remember that show. And of course, in their corner will be the third member of that podcast, Danielle Fishel, will be in their corner. So it'll be interesting to see how they interact in the ring. We know that they are wrestling fans. Well, we're going to see what happens when they step into the ring as wrestlers. So we'll have to find out. Of course, Jack and Tim, the lucky ones, the father-son singing group from Britain's Got Talent, who've been on the roster quite some time. I'm sure they had doubts way back in the day, and they have been veterans of our show for years now. So I'm sure that anyone can adapt at some point, and anyone has a chance. So remember, as always, folks, we have no control over these or any other match, considering it is nothing. We have nothing to do with the outcomes of any of our matches. And immediately following after that, we are going to have the Dream Masters Universal Championship on the line, as Yesenia Verkovitz won an off-air tournament to challenge. Verkovitz, of course, the soccer and football star, football being soccer to the American audience, from Moscow. He's going to be challenging the current reigning Dream Masters Universal Champion, Speedy Easton McDonald from the U.S. It should be a very interesting contest. Both young men are about the same size, age, and have the same athletic capacity to being super athletes in their own division, in their own right. They both are specialists in various sports, so it should be an interesting contest. Both individuals, hardworking, dedicated, and we can't wait to see what's going to happen. And remember, folks, we have no control over the outcomes. And, of course, Verkovitz has been a champion in the past. So we'll have to wait and find out. And, again, happy birthday to him. The next match is going to be a Boston street fight as the Boston bad boy of comedy, the incomparable Dane Cook. We'll try to quiet down that heckler Chandler White, who apparently at a show recently, Chandler White and his wife Angry Karen and Becky Day made a fools of themselves at one of Dane Cook's comedy shows. Well, Dane doesn't put up with it much, and they're going to have it out at this random melee palooza. That was back in January, folks. Sorry, I got my shows mixed up. But anywho, this has been something that's been brewing for a while. They're going to settle this scores in a good old-fashioned Boston street fight as Chandler White will take on the Boston bad boy of comedy, Dane Cook. Step on board the Dane train. And in the official main event for that event will be a caged warfare match. It's 6-man. Between Sean Awesome and his Awesome Ones and KD Smooth and the Smooth Operators. This is a different type of match. This is something we have not seen on our show before. And this will be something we'll probably see a good deal later on, and especially during our Team Warfare tournament, which takes place in November as the final payoffs. So that should be an epic official main event, but we do have some bonus matches, folks. Yes, because this is our comeback show, we need to have, all attentions on deck, and it's going to be iconic. So, in addition to those matches, we are going to have the Dream Masters BA MMA Grand Prix tag team titles on the line, because Henry and Hiram Menya love to have competition. They said, just give us anyone. They're going to take on a team they never took on before, as they're taking on Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, the Cartel, making their return to the Icons, and give the Menya boys some trouble. But I don't think that the champions have any fear. That's why they're champions. Also, in action will be the World's End have put out the Open Challenge. Of course, that being Bane and Doomsday. I mentioned this yesterday, that they were feeling slighted considering they were not put in the Hall of Fame this year. Because they feel so slighted, they said, we're going to take on any team, bring us anyone. And, of course, the legends have stepped up, of course, that being JoJo the bodybuilder and Philip Ricardo Jr., the natural bodybuilding champions. And they're going to be, taking up the challenge of Bane and Doomsday of all people. So that's a gutsy move there by the legends, but the legends, the World's End thinks that these guys are pushovers. They got another thing coming, because they will bring the fight to them. We'll have to see. In addition to that, we're going to see the return of the prodigy Jackson R. Scott to the ring as he takes on a clown he has not faced before. And who will that be? We'll have to wait and find out. Rumor has it that it's going to be Art the Clown. But he has faced Art the Clown before, but we'll have to wait and find out. And in the official last main event for our bonus match, we're going to have a 30-person welcome back melee, where the winner will have their choice of a championship opportunity for whatever title they choose, whatever the title they win. So if you didn't hear your name or the person's name you haven't recalled, pretty much you can guess that they're going to be part of this. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of surprises in this melee. Some of these people you know, some of them you don't. Just to rattle off some names: Riley Simmons, Lucas Royalty, Walker Campbell, Minty, Deadpool, The Punisher. The Bullies are going to be there. The Sergey Yerkolov, Elliot Fulliam, as I mentioned. The Crow. That's of course Brandon Lee making his return, as he's not feeling too happy about his father. His father's in the Hall of Fame. He feels like he should too. Conor McGregor, and numerous others. So make sure you guys tune in on this coming Tuesday on YouTube, and you will see all of these exciting action, all these matches, and it's going to be awesome, I would imagine. And also, as a special bonus, we're going to have a podcast live. We're going to watch the show with some of the stars featured on the show, and we're going to find out what they think watching their match and their returns live on the podcast. So make sure you tune in on Tuesday for that as well. More announcements for that will be coming later. This is a short podcast today because I went so long yesterday, and also because this is what the meat and potatoes was for today. And everyone, remember, it's not about quality. It's not about quantity. Sometimes it's about the quality. It's about making impact, and it's about doing what you need to do. And for those people who like to quote, here's today's quote for your Wednesday quoters out there. Dreams work as hard as you do. Or dreams is another way to look at it, is the dreams don't work unless you do. And that basically sums up everything part of my life. Everything you want in life you can achieve as long as you're willing to put the work into getting it done. A lot of the people we feature on our show want to get all these goals met. They've done a lot of impressive things because they've set their mind to it and they put the work into doing so. That is how winning done, and that is how you win in life. Thank you, and may all your dreams come true. From the F4L Headquarters Podcast, Sean Jazz Stevens. Peace, everybody.